All right, welcome back everybody to the channel. I'm wearing my AirPods because today is Apple Day. The long-awaited October event, iPhone event, has finally been here. They've shown us the new iPhones. They've shown us a HomePod Mini, and we're gonna dive into it. I'm just gonna take these out real quick because I look like a complete asshole. But today in this video, we're gonna talk specifically about Magsafe. I saw that there's already hundreds of videos out there summarizing the event. Apple made their own little summary in 53 seconds. I think that's one of the best ones. We're just gonna zoom in on Magsafe because I feel like Magsafe is a era-defining thing that Apple announced for their new phones, but they didn't necessarily make it look that way. Today we're gonna talk about Magsafe and how it's going to change the way we charge forever. So before we dive into the details on why Magsafe is a very bad thing and how it can be pretty concerning for us Apple users, let's just dive into what it exactly is, because it actually is a very cool technology. Now on the surface level, Magsafe is just a magnet that is built into all the new iPhone 12s and into some cases and other accessories. So first and foremost, you can use it to charge your device. You can get a Magsafe charger that kind of looks like an Apple Watch charger, but then a little bit bigger. You just snap a big round circle on the back of your iPhone and it just starts charging, which is a really cool, elegant way of charging your device. The second charger they announced is the Magsafe and the Magsafe Duo, which is kind of like a little foldable thing that you can put on your bed sheet and fold up so it's easy to take with you. On one hand, you have the classic Apple Watch charger, and on the other hand, you have that little round circle, but it's just built into this little flappy thing that you can just put your phone on it. Obviously, the big advantage of this versus regular wireless charging, Qi wireless charging, is the fact that you don't have to center your phone because you can't really miss the coil because it's just magnet, so it just snaps into place. The second cool thing about Magsafe is that it allows accessories to be a lot more intuitive and easy. They showed a wallet case that you can click on the back of your phone, which just snaps onto it and you can put a credit card in. And they also showed regular cases that instead of you finicking around the corners trying to get that case on, you can now just snap the case on the back and it works perfectly fine. One of the coolest things about putting a case on that wasn't really talked about during the event, but that I did notice in a trailer for the iPhone 12 Pro, is that once you put on a case, your phone kind of recognizes what case that is, and it shows the color of that case on your screen. So in the trailer, they had this red pinkish case that they put on, and it sort of like popped up into the screen knowing that it was a pink case. This most likely has to do with the fact that Magsafe is not just a magnet, it's kind of a smart magnet because it also has part NFC and NFC near field communications chip. Kind of the same way Apple Pay works. Once two things get close together, they communicate with each other and they send information back and forth. So most likely this case holds a little bit of data, it's put onto your phone, the NFC chip communicates and is able to read out that data, and it says, okay, I am a pink reddish shade of case. You put it on and it shows on the screen, which I think is really neat. All right, so Magsafe is an awesome charger. It's an awesome way to put on accessories. It's nice, it's new, but it also has some concerning things to it. Let me explain that to you. The main reason I think Magsafe is a pretty concerning development is the fact that it's proprietary. And that means that it's made by Apple for Apple products, and it's only going to work with Apple products. It's obviously not an open thing. Magsafe is only right now going to work on the iPhone 12s, but it's also going to work with iPhones in the future, maybe iPads, maybe whatever, but it's only going to work with Apple products. It's going to be an Apple type connection. There's three reasons why I think the fact that it's proprietary is very concerning, and three main things that are downsides to having Magsafe over some other type of connector. The first one being that third parties making Magsafe accessories are going to have to pay a fee to Apple, which means that cases can be more expensive in the future. Let me explain. Back in the day, in the olden days of the Lightning connector, remember that one? Third parties had to pay a fee to Apple if they wanted to make an accessory using the Lightning connector. So that meant chargers, sometimes headphones. If they wanted to use Lightning connector, they paid a fee to Apple. So whenever you bought a charger, even if it wasn't from Apple, even if it was Belkin or some off-brand cheap one, chances are you paid that company money, and a part of that money went to Apple because that company was using the Lightning connector, which is patented by Apple. It's Apple technology, so you have to pay Apple. Right now, that's only the case with chargers and headphones. But with MagSafe, this could also be the case for cases. Because right now, Apple has announced that, these cases can snap on really easily, but if a third party wants to be competitive with those cases, they're going to have to build in MagSafe to their cases, because that way their cases are also going to be snappy, easy, and awesome. And right now, I'm not even sure if you can put on a case on an iPhone 12 without MagSafe. So chances are third-party cases are going to be a little bit more expensive, because not only do they have higher material costs because they have to put that magnet in there, they also have to pay that pretty big fee to Apple for even using that technology. The second reason why it's a little bit concerning for us is the fact that the Lightning port will most likely be gone within a couple of years. Now you might be wondering, why is Apple removing all the ports? I know it's not the nicest thing ever, but now that I've seen the most basic MagSafe charger, it does seem that you can use your phone while it's charging. And as long as I can use my phone while it's charging, I don't necessarily care that they're removing the charging port. If that means a bigger battery, better speakers, it's pretty nice. But it's still annoying because within 2 or 3 years, when the Lightning port is gone, we're all going to have to invest in MagSafe accessories and MagSafe chargers. Maybe not the next year's iPhone, but definitely the iPhone after that is going to be portless. This is Apple's vision and always has been, and now they have a way to make an iPhone portless and still make you use a proprietary charger. So still make you use a charger that they created so that you stay in their ecosystem. And that brings me to the third reason why this is very concerning, and I think this is the biggest one. This is sort of ties it all together, and that's why I think it's nice, but also very, very, very scary that we're going to a new proprietary charger. So let me back up a little bit. We have to go to the past a little bit. I have to tell you the whole story. It might take a little while, but I'll tell you the story of charging an iPhone and how that came to be. And then I will show you how this is kind of scary for the future, and it's less open, and it's just, we'll get into it. So we have to go back to the year 2017 when Apple announced their AirPower. Now, if you don't remember AirPower, it was this small, thin little mat that Apple has that you could put your iPhone, your Apple Watch, and your wirelessly charged enabled AirPods on, and you could just charge your devices. Now, we don't exactly know how this device worked, but rumor has it that because they wanted to create it with coils overlapping each other, it overheated and therefore it canceled. We can sort of determine that it was going to be Qi wireless charging technology. Now, if you don't know what Qi wireless charging is, it's essentially the wireless charging standard set in the world. So you can kind of compare it as the USB port of wireless charging. It's universal, everyone has it, it works on iPhone, it works on Android. It's a very universal way of charging your device. It's a very universal way of wirelessly charging your device. Now, I do assume that AirPower used this technology, but because they wanted to keep it small and thin, it would overheat, and therefore they eventually canceled the whole thing. Now, I think back in the day, Apple's plan was to use AirPower and make AirPower so cool and so unique and so much better than all the other wireless chargers that Apple users would be sort of like forced to use AirPower. They could use other Qi wireless chargers, but they wouldn't have the sleek little animations. They wouldn't support their Apple Watch because the Apple Watch does not use Qi wireless charging, but a other proprietary way of charging. And it would just, be a charger for the holy trinity of Apple: the AirPods, the watch, and the phone, which are their 3 most popular products. But like I just said, because they wanted those coils to overlap, it being very thin, it overheated, and eventually it got canceled. Not officially, but it was removed off the website. We didn't hear anything of it anymore. It was shown once and never again. Because it was canceled, Apple was forced to support Qi wireless charging on their devices to keep up with competition. And this was one of the best things that could happen to iPhone in a long time. And the reason for this is simple. Qi wireless charging is open. Qi wireless charging is used by Android, it's used by iPhone. So when I went to a friend's house and they had a wireless charger, I could just put it on there. It was widely, universally known. And obviously, a lot of people are still charging using a port and using a cable, but wireless charging was really keeping up and really getting better and smarter, and smart wireless chargers with moving coils, and the technology is really going fast. So I do think that wireless charging, Qi wireless charging, was the future, and I really thought that was going to be the universal way of charging our devices. For the longest time, we thought it was going to be USB-C. I was like, okay, Apple's not going to change their port. Fine by me. Let's just have the wireless charging experience be universal. I was grateful until Magsafe. Because you can probably see where this is going. Magsafe essentially could replace Qi wireless charging, meaning that in the next 3 or 4 years, Apple could stop supporting Qi wireless charging on their iPhones. And even though Magsafe is really sleek, and even though it seems to be working really easily, and even though I am 100% sure that I'm gonna get a Magsafe charger for my new iPhone 12, I do still think it's kind of a weird thing that we're gonna step away from Qi wireless charging to this new proprietary Apple ecosystem way of charging. So we went from the Lightning port, which was fully enclosed, to a little bit of opening because we had the Qi wireless charging, and now we're closing down all over again. Now don't get me wrong, I do believe Qi wireless charging is still supported on all iPhone 12 models, but I'm pretty certain that the next iPhone, or maybe the one thereafter, won't support Qi wireless charging anymore. And we can only hope that Apple will put a Magsafe charger in the box with those phones, but I'm also pretty certain that after 2 years, especially if it's not the next iPhone, but the one after that, that Apple's just going to be like, yeah, but everyone already has a Magsafe charger in their house, and we're all gonna be like, well, no, because I can just still use Qi wireless charging on my phone, but whatever. And they're not going to put it in the box. That's just going to be very annoying, because not putting a charger in the box was annoying this year because we didn't get a charging brick, but it'll be even more annoying if they remove something from the box and also remove support for a type of charging. So we're sort of going back to dark ages. We're going to a Magsafe only proprietary ecosystem way of charging, which I think is pretty concerning. Other than that, I'm pretty excited for it. It has some concerning dark areas around it. Yeah, I do think the future is exciting, but also a little bit scary with this new way of charging. I want to thank you very much for watching. Again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell button to be notified when I make a new video. Hit the like button as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.